Very good morning, children. In the last classes, we have discussed about the structure of the nerve cell and the different pathways from stimulus to response. Those are sensory neurons, motor neurons, and association nerves. And about the path from the sense organs to brain and brain to again muscles. How the signals, electrical impulses are going in a path that is arc. So that is also called as reflex arc, and the response is also called as reflexes, and the arc is called as reflex arc. That pathway also we have discussed in the last class. Today I want to say you about central nervous system. I want to select to explain central nervous system. Under this brain and spinal cord comes, children. So the central nervous system coordinates all neural functions. Under this first one is the structure of the brain. I want to tell you, see this diagram, this is the structure of the brain, and the outermost layer, and brain is covered by a layer called a skull, and which protects the brain from the surroundings and which gives structure to the brain, and this is also called as cranium. This is also called as cranium. And the layers, meninges, 3 layers are called meninges, and which are covered, as well as spinal cord and brain both, which are covering continuously covering the spinal cord and brain. And the inner layer is filled with cerebrospinal fluid, which is gives protection from the shocks and jerks to the brain, and also which gives the fluid gives the protection from the external injury, and this fluid acts like a shock absorber to the brain. So the outermost layer which gives structure to the brain is skull or cranium, and the 3 layers are also called as meninges, which also covers the spinal cord, and the fluid filled in that layers is called cerebrospinal fluid, which gives protection from the shocks and jerks to the brain, and which also gives protection along the meninges and cranium. Cranium is also called as skull. So here the divisions of the brain, these all are the labels of the brain, and the divisions of the brain are forebrain, which contains cerebrum and diencephalon. Yes, diencephalon. Forebrain contains cerebrum and diencephalon, and midbrain contains optic globes, and the hindbrain contains cerebellum and medulla oblongata. These all parts I will explain you now. So first I want to select the forebrain and cerebellum. Children, here comes under first olfactory lobes. These are the roundish and flattened projecting fissures like surfaces, and these are visible from front side. Ventral surface means front side. These first visible, these lobes. The function of these are with the sense of smell. These are concerned with sense of smell. Olfactory lobes are useful for sense of smell. Olfactory lobes in the brain are useful for sense of smell. And coming to the cerebrum part. So cerebrum consists of 2 hemisphere lobes. Those are called left and right. Yes, left and right. And again these 2 lobes are has many folds to appear elevations and depressions. That means here the 2 hemispheres are again into 4 lobes. What are those? What are those 4 means here? Occipital, temporal, frontal, and parental. So what is the function of these lobes? Actually cerebrum consists of 2 hemispheres, left and right, and again these hemispheres are divided into 4 lobes. What are those means here? Occipital lobes. The primary function of the occipital lobes is to respond. These are responsible for vision, and temporal are for hearing, auditory system, responsible for auditory system. And coming to the frontal, this controls the voluntary movements. Frontal lobes are for controlling voluntary movements, and parietal are for processing about the temperature, taste, touch, and movement. Temperature, taste, and touch, movement, like that. So your cerebrum contains like that. The cerebrum contains two hemispheres. Those are called cerebral hemispheres, right and left cerebral hemispheres we are calling. And these are again divided into four lobes. One is for sense of hearing, and one is for sense of vision, and one is for controlling voluntary movements, and one is for controlling processing, temperature, taste, touch and movement, like that. So these all are the parts contained by the cerebrum. Actually, cerebrum is responsible for sense of all sense organs: sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch, like that. So this contains two hemispheres, right and left, that already I told you. Left side helps writing and logical skills. Left hemisphere helps to the writing and logical skills. Right side controls creative skills such as music, art, dance. So left side is responsible for writing and logical skills. Right side is for controls creative skills such as music. Some people are can able to sing very well than other, like that. Extra senses some are having, so that is due to the right side controlling. Left side helpful for writing and logical skills. So that is the function of the cerebrum. And coming to the Dinesphallon. Yes, Dinesphallon. This is rhomboidal shaped lobe visible from the inferior surface of the brain. Inferior, superior. Inferior means lower surface of the brain. We can observe Dinesphallon between cerebrum and midbrain. Between cerebrum and midbrain we can observe this one. Midbrain is here. So between cerebrum and midbrain we can observe Dinesphallon. It is divided into thalamus and hypothalamus. The functions of these are this is the center for sensory impulses such as pain, temperature and light, due to that relay. The center for relay, and this is the relay center for sensory impulses such as pain, temperature and light, sensory impulses. This is the one function of the Dinesphallon. And reflex center for muscular activities. This is also reflex center for muscular activities. This is center for certain emotions such as anger and BP, balance, water balance, body temperature balance, sleep and hunger. These all are the responsibilities of the Dinesphallon. And hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland. Actually, pituitary gland controls the growth of the body. Pituitary gland controls the growth of the body, and which is also called as master gland. Yes, and also which controls the growth of the body. Pituitary glands are controlling growth of the body, and hypothalamus controls the temperature of the body. Also controls the temperature of the body. So this is also, hypothalamus is also called as master gland. Like that, the Dinesphallon. Observe children. Next one, midbrain. So this is a small, thick, stacked portion. This connects forebrain and cerebellum, which connects both of these. And we can observe optic lobes of the brain in the brain model in your laboratory. We can observe like that. So we'll see then. And the functions of these are motor impulses from the cerebral cortex to the spinal cord, which passes, and sensory impulses from spinal cord to the thalamus. So which is the connection between spinal cord and forebrain and cerebellum, which is the central part. Through this only all the senses will pass, all the impulses from spinal cord to the thalamus. Thalamus means which is the part of Dinesphallon, and which is reflexes for sight and hearing also, which impulses are passing through midbrain. So here the place white color portion, already I told you. All the axons leave a small portion in the center, that is midbrain. Through spinal cord, a path is there. So impulses will pass to thalamus of the Dinesphallon, which is the part of forebrain. And like that we can observe these are the functions of the midbrain. And coming to the hindbrain. So hindbrain contains again two parts, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, it is located below the cerebellum and above the medulla oblongata. So it is located below the cerebellum. It is located below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata. That means here medulla oblongata and here cerebrum. The cerebellum is between medulla oblongata and cerebrum. So like that, below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata. So like that we can observe, children. So it maintains postures and equilibriums, the muscle tone. That means it controls and coordinates the movements of the muscles like walking, moving hands, etc. And also it controls the different postures and also maintain the how we can stand in a balanced position with the help of cerebellum only. The logical skills, writing skills, those are responsible for cerebrum, and yes, cerebellum is for body balancing, postures balancing, controlling and coordination of the body movements, how we are walking, how we are moving our hands, body movements within a proper manner, that is responsible by cerebellum. So these are the functions of the cerebellum. And coming to the medulla oblongata, which connects the brain and spinal cord, and it is triangular shaped. Medulla oblongata extends from the pons to spinal cord. So that pons and pons varioles also I will explain you now. Yes, pituitary gland I already explained you, which controls the growth of the body. And here the function of the medulla oblongata, it is the center for cardiac, respiratory and vasomotor, all involuntary functions, automatic functions are controlled by medulla oblongata, like breathing, digestion, circulation, heartbeat, by regulating the muscles. And also it connects the brain and spinal cord. So that is about the medulla oblongata. And what are the parts remained, children, here? What are the parts? Corpus callosum we didn't discuss now, and the pons varioles we didn't discuss now. Those two I will explain you now. So corpus callosum. So what is the function of the corpus callosum? It consists, already I told you, so many axons. Myelinated axons are most probably taking place in that grey colored portion. That means corpus callosum consists of about 200 million axons that interconnect the two hemispheres of the cerebrum, two left and right hemispheres of the cerebrum that interconnects. 200 million axons are present in the corpus callosum. Here corpus callosum, all the axons are present. Those are interconnected between the two hemispheres. The primary function of this corpus callosum is to integrate motor, sensory performances between cerebral cortex on one side of the brain to the same region of the other side. So that means the corpus callosum maintains the balance between the right and left hemispheres. Yes, that is sensory and motory actions, performances between the cerebral cortex of one side, left side and right side of the cerebrum. Corpus callosum is responsible for that, to integrate motor and sensory functions between the two sides of the cerebrum, left and right side of the brain. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere. What are the functions of the left and right hemispheres also we have discussed now. Just observe that. So like that we can understand. So cerebral cortex on one side of the brain to the same region on the other side, which is the interconnection between the two sides of the brain, two parts of the brain, cerebrum parts, hemispheres, left hemisphere and right hemispheres. About the four lobes also we have discussed now. Just understand, children. And coming to the pons varioles, it is the bridge-like. Yes, bridge of varioles. That means it is a bridge, means it is a part of brainstem. Here. So it is the major structure. It gives the major structure in the upper part of your brainstem. Upper part. brain stem started here through brain and spinal cord. This is the upper part of the brain stem, and it is the communication between different parts of the brain, sensations such as hearing, taste, and which gives the communication between the other parts, and also controls breathing, communication between the different parts of the brain. Medulla oblongata is below this, so that's why, which also gives support to the medulla oblongata. This is the upper part of the brain stem. Medulla oblongata connects the brain and spinal cord. Like that, understand, children?